Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe, 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 believe. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart. Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. Listen to your heart. 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 Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe. 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 Believe. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart. Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. If you just believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand. 'Cause you are the one for me. If you just believe. 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 Believe. Listen to your heart, 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 heart. Listen to your heart, 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 heart.
We need to have a chat, people. We need to have a serious chat because I'm getting sick of this shit. I'm getting fed up, people. It's starting to bother me. It's actually starting to bother me. I'm starting to get annoyed. I'm starting to get angry. I pretended I didn't care for a long time. I didn't care for a long time. And I said to myself, don't get angry over these things, Hugh. It's not worth it. You shouldn't get angry over things you can't control. And you shouldn't get angry over things that are corrupt and are a load of bollocks. We need to have a serious conversation, people. Welcome, Roberto, Joshua, to Sit Down with Jeff, Dream, Bjorn. Welcome, everybody. Hit the like button, man. Hit that thumbs up button. Welcome back to another late night chat. Subscribe if you're new around here because we need to have a serious conversation, people. A serious conversation. I'm getting annoyed now. I'm getting annoyed. The Ballon d'Or. The Ballon d'Or is actually starting to get under my skin. The Ballon d'Or is starting to get under my skin. It never did, really. It never did, really, until the Haland Ballon d'Or. What should have been the Haland Ballon d'Or, the Haland d'Or. I said, this is a fucking joke. This is a joke. Haaland comes to the Premier League, breaks every record left, right, and centre, wins a treble, and they give it to Messi. Now, big up Messi, hold tight Messi in that. You know what I mean? Good player. But did he deserve that Ballon d'Or? No. No, he did not. That Ballon d'Or should have been for Erling Haaland. Now, we're starting to talk about the next Ballon d'Or coming up in the next few months based off, you know what I mean, what we've experienced this season. Rodri should win the Ballon d'Or, in my opinion. At this moment in time, Rodri should win the Ballon d'Or. And if Spain win the Euros on Sunday, there should be no conversation. He should be head and shoulders clear of everybody in terms of Ballon d'Or. Rodri is the best football player in the world right now and has been for 2 years. But Rodri has no social media. Rodri isn't arsed about PR. Rodri doesn't have mad celebrations, and Rodri doesn't do the whole, come on, I am him, who else, and all that bollocks, you know what I'm saying? Rodri just plays his football, and he's better than everybody else, and he doesn't get the attention or praise he deserves. Tonight, the penny dropped with me. I've been bigging up Rodri all tournament. I've been bigging up Rodri for years now, with Man City, of course, you know? And I was always like, it's Rodri. He's unreal. And tonight the penny dropped. I was watching that game, full time went, and I said to myself, this guy really is the best in the world. There's actually no one close to him. He's the best in the world. And the reality is, he will not get the Ballon d'Or. He won't get the Ballon d'Or, people. Rodri will not be given the... If Rodri is given the Ballon d'Or, I will gift 20 memberships to the chat. How about that? I'll give 20 memberships to the chat. Because we all know the Ballon d'Or is a load of bollocks. It's meant to be for the greatest football player over the last 12 months or the season, whatever the rule is now. It doesn't matter either or, because Rodri's the best either way. But it's all for PR, commercial, economic reasons as to why they hand out the Ballon d'Or these days. Joe, we're going to have to chat about this because it's starting to piss me off now. It hasn't even been handed out yet, the Ballon d'Or for this year, but I know it's not coming to a Man City player. So, chat, hit the like button. We're going to have a conversation about it, and then we're going to chat a bit about Dani Olmo as well in a while, because he's kind of... the penny's starting to drop with me for him as well. I learned a lot about myself tonight, you know what I'm saying? I had to do a lot of self-reflecting tonight and start questioning my own beliefs and my own morals, and I've come to a lot of conclusions. So hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed, become a channel member, and let's talk about this shit, man, because you know what, Joe? It's at tipping point now. It's at tipping point.
I mean, just straight off the bat, I mean, I want it and it should happen, but it doesn't bother me anymore. Like you said, after Haland, he's got 52, won a treble, didn't win the Ballon d'Or because Messi exists, and you know Messi's the name, and I believe that was after he won the World Cup and everything. So it's like, yeah, fair enough. So it really doesn't bother me. I'm not gonna lose sleep over when the inevitable happens and he doesn't. I'm just kind of hoping that if England somehow managed to walk away with the Euros, I hope to fucking God that overrated arms up merchant, come on, who else does not get anywhere near the Ballon d'Or? Because he doesn't deserve it. He just doesn't deserve it. He can win the Champions League and the Euros, and I still say he doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or. Like, there's just... We're looking at, if England win the Euros, there's a very good possibility that, Champions League and an international tournament, trophy win in one season, he then becomes up there for Ballon d'Or, if he's not up there already, just because he plays for Madrid and won the Champions League. And he's got a lot of PR behind him. Like, that's the situation we look at where Rodri just kind of goes about his business. He stands on business. That's the type of player he is. Bellingham just kind of Manchester out here, innit? He's just there. I wouldn't even be putting him close to like, the best in his position. With Rodri, I'm already looking at, with someone like Rodri, I'm looking at his peak and going, Busquets, can you chat to this man? Yes, you can. and the best in them positions. I'm looking at Bellingham and go, can you chat to, the best, attacking midfielders? Your Zidanes, there's so many other names. No. God, no. Like, we're talking different stratospheres here. Like, I can maybe accept a Vinicius because, again, I can accept that. And do I accept Mbappe? Maybe slightly less than I do Vinicius, but I can accept Vinicius. I can't accept Bellingham. I cannot accept Bellingham or Mbappe. Mbappe is on the fringes because of his name, I feel.
Because of his name.
But again, this is like who's going to be up there. It's going to be Real Madrid players. Mbappe's got a name. Haaland's got a name. And then you've got Rodri, who doesn't really have a name, but he's, for me, the best out of the bunch.
There's for me, that right now, the only player in world football who comes close to Rodri, and you can put him in the conversation with Rodri is Vinny. He's the only one. And even at that, I still believe Rodri deserves it above Vinny. Especially, and that should be cemented if Spain win on Sunday. Vinny's knocked out of Copa America now. Vinny, you're out, Copa America. Do you know what I'm saying? And look, I'm not trying to discredit Vinny too much, but you know what I mean? A lot of players have won the Champions League with Real Madrid. You know what I mean? A lot of players have won the Champions League with Real Madrid. No one has won 4 Premier Leagues in a row. And no one has won the 4th Premier League in a row in the same season as winning a Euros. That is a unique achievement. And he has been the best player for both teams. Rodri has been the best player for Spain. Of course, Lamine Yamal will steal the headlines because he's generational. And I don't, guys, if you know me well, I don't use the term generational very often. But Rodri is the linchpin. He is the main man of that team. The exact same effect on Man City Rodri has for Spain. The reason Foden got to play so well for us this season, or one of the big reasons, is because Rodri was there, yeah? The reason anybody played well for Man City this season, Rodri's a big factor behind that, and one of the reasons why Lamine gets to play so well is because Rodri is there. Rodri's there, cleaning up. Rodri's there controlling that midfield. So you attacking creative, expressive players, Olmo, Nico Williams, you all go and do what you're great at. You go and do what you're great at. And let me, Rodri, be the big man in this team. Rodri should be captain. Why is Alvaro Morata captain? Someone tell me why Morata's captain. Morata? He's a journeyman. I don't rate Morata like that. I'm sorry, I don't. Some of you might, but I just don't. Rodri should be captain of that squad. So bottom line, people, I think Rodri should be stand-out candidate, but there seems to be three things going against Rodri in his... I don't believe Bellingham is generational, Puneet. I absolutely don't. I believe Bellingham is a brilliant talent. I believe Bellingham has a really high ceiling, but generational, no. Have we seen players as good as or better than Bellingham over the last 10 years? Of course we have. Pedri is as good as Bellingham, if not better. Joe, that's true. Pedri?
There's not much in it. I wouldn't say there's much in it. I could tell you, the only generational surrounding Bellingham is generational PR. That's the only generation that he's got. Like, I have never seen such hype and such protection and such overboosting of egos and performances than I have with Bellingham. It's incredible.
Bellingham?
Yeah, I struggle to name more players who have been as overhyped. It's nothing to do with him. He can't control how the media is, right? But, again, there's maybe a handful of players who have had that much hype that, haven't deserved it. Like, he doesn't deserve being put up with the best of the best, but he is. No matter how he performs, he just is. It's not right.
Sheikh Mansour in the chat says, I'm not hitting the like button, you shameless Paddy. Just a bit racist, mate. that's just a bit racist to say that, but
whack
sorry,
out
mate,
that, hey, Sheik, whack out the war chest. I'm begging. Need transfers.
Yeah, man. If you're gonna call me a shameless Paddy, at least just send a big super chat. You know what I mean? You rich motherfucker. Send a big super chat, man.
War chest. I need signings. Come on.
Hit the like button. Don't be like this fake Sheikh Mansour in the chat. Hit the like button, people. 70 in the building. We're gonna keep talking about this, man. Big up Roberto. I always see you in the big six, man. Big up to you. Great to have you over here as always. With a 9.99, he says the notion of respect to Madrid because of their bullshit mafia dirty legacy is a joke. Jude's average next to Rodri. Fuck Real. No treble history in all their dirty years. That's true. Madrid have never won a treble. And they're dead league. Look, all I'm saying about Bellingham is, yeah, Madrid still win that Champions League for me without Bellingham. I don't know if people disagree or do not, but I think there's other players as well that could put them there that still would have won that Champions League with them. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Bellingham was the main man in that Champions League campaign for Real Madrid. There is obviously a lot of PR behind Real Madrid players, which is why people are starting to talk about the Mbappe thing with Real Madrid. And has Mbappe missed his opportunity to go down as an icon who has done something, you know, unique or special, or the first to do so? Like, had Mbappe led that PSG team to Champions League glory, you would say, okay, look, I know they had fucking Neymar and Messi in the team as well for a period there, but you know, even when Messi and Neymar were gone, Mbappe could have led that team, and you would have said, right, that's Mbappe's, you know, PSG Champions League. PSG Champions League. They've never won it before, and Mbappe leads them. Now he's just going to join the current Champions League winners, flooded with fucking superstars. So yes, he should win it. And when he does win it, probably next season, are we all going to go, wow, Mbappe, unbelievable, mate. You are special. No, why would you? Because they fucking won it 12 months ago, and Vinicius was the main man. Or Tchouaméni and these guys. Valverde, screamers. They don't even need Mbappe to win the Champions League. It's just for him now to hopefully, from his position, stat pad Champions Leagues. And stat pad La Ligas. They should walk La Liga. They should fucking walk La Liga now, season in, season out. You know what I mean? You iconize, if that is a word, iconize players for doing special things, unique things. You can iconize, I still don't know if that's a word, but you can iconize Haland for what he did. Comes to the Premier League for the first season, 52 goals in all comps, wins the treble. You can iconize that. Can you iconize anything Mbappe's done at club level? I think you can iconize or idolize whatever what he did with France in 2018 World Cup. That was fucking insane. Do you know what I mean? But Joe, come on.
Yeah, he's missed the boat to go and build a proper legacy. Like, gonna be very, I guess, tainted. I always like the analogy, right? Saw it once and I'll run with it. It's like losing your virginity to a prostitute. You are expected to win the Champions League with Real Madrid. It is history, it is heritage, it is literally probably written in the fucking contract. You will win a Champions League. You will give us a Champions League while you are here. That's what they do. They have, what, 15? Like,
mate, if you play for Real Madrid, yeah, and you never win a Champions League, you
failure.
failed.
You are a failure.
You failed big time, like horrendously.
It's a failure to not. That is their competition. They are the kings of that competition. They've won it the most. Multiple three-peats. It's like, it's what they do, which is why, again, you take Bellingham out of that Madrid team for that entire Champions League run, they still win it. Because he didn't do really anything in the knockout stage, you know, going forward. I think he got an assist in the final, but they were already 1-0 up. Like, take Bellingham out of the equation, Madrid still walk away with the Champions League. You take Rodri out of, you know, what we do, they don't win the Premier League.
No, that's the main point, Joe. Joe, hit the board for yourself. Hit the soundboard for yourself. Yeah. That is the main point we need to focus on here. The main point. Do Real Madrid still win Champions League with Bellingham? Or without Bellingham? Yes. Do they still win it without Vinny? Maybe not. Probably not. You could probably say probably not. Do City win the Premier League without Rodri? Definitely not. Do Spain win the Euros without Rodri? Definitely not. Like, I think it's definitely not. Who are you putting into number 6 instead of Rodri for both City and for Spain? For City, we're looking at Kovacic. Respect Kova, mate. Good player, but you ain't Rodri. Who are you putting in for Spain? Who even is their backup 6?
Good question. They've got a few players that could maybe play there. Fabian Ruiz, Mikel
exactly.
Merino.
The fact that you have to go, means it's no one in Rodri's breath. You know what I'm saying? No one in the same breath as Rodri. So this guy, you take him out of any successful team he's in, and that team's a bit fucked. A little bit fucked. As we experienced this season, he missed 4 games for City all season. We lost all 4. That's where we're at. And the thing is, the reason I said at the top of the stream, people, that I'm getting a bit fed up now, a bit pissed off with the situation is because I was like most of you, and probably all of you, I was like, you know what, the Ballon d'Or doesn't matter, and you know what I'm saying, like, we don't need PR, and we don't need these individual awards. I'm like, you know what, fuck this. Start giving those who deserve their awards. Their awards. Start giving the best player in the world, or the most, or the best player for the last 12 months / 2 years, or the player who did the most in the last year, the award they deserve. The award now has no credibility because you're giving it to motherfuckers who don't deserve it. I don't care that Messi won the World Cup. It does not trump what Haland did that season. It doesn't. It doesn't. It's a lovely fairy tale story for Messi. I would have had nothing against giving him the Super Ballon d'Or, which Di Stefano got back for Real Madrid in I think it was the 90s or the 80s. Give Messi that and let him ride off into the sunset and say you're the greatest player of all time, which he is. But this year, sorry, that freak from Norway, you can't argue what he did. So start saying, no, City players who win trophy after trophy after trophy, break record after record after record. We're always being compared to shitheads from other clubs, and we're always getting our players trumped for individual awards by other shitheads. Sorry, I don't want to hear Casemiro, Rodri ever again. I don't want to hear Bruno Fernandes, Kevin De Bruyne ever again. I don't want to hear Declan Rice, Rodri ever again. They're not in the same stratosphere. Declan Rice is not near the footballer Rodri is. That is bottom line. If you disagree with that, you're ridiculously tribal and you're just a hater. Watch the game with your eyes and watch the impact both players have on their teams. Arsenal without Rice came second. Arsenal with Rice came second. I'm sick of City players not getting the praise they deserve. I'm sick of Man City players being told, oh no, well, this guy over at that club is a bigger name, a bigger PR, and you just play for City. You keep racking up your trophies. And that's great. I'm all for that. But, you know, it has to get to a point where we go, fuck's sake. Give our players what they deserve. Prime Casemiro was class, but when he was at Man United and they were saying Casemiro versus Rodri, there was no competition. Like, no competition. I'm just a bit fed up with City players not getting their respect. And it's all jealousy because every single person who follows every single other club that spends every day of their lives talking about 115 and my player is better than yours and this, that, the other, you're all jealous. You're all just jealous. You all wish your clubs were as successful as ours. You all wish your clubs were run as well as ours. You wish you had Pep Guardiola. And Jesus Christ, you'd have a wet dream if you were told you can have Rodri. Sick of it, man. Sick of it. Start respecting and praising our players. I'm gonna run this mantra now. For real, Joe, man. It's getting to be ridiculous.
Oh, don't even get me started on Declan Rice. That should go in his trophy cabinet alongside the Conference League comparisons to Rodri. One of the best things that he's ever done in his career, that he's ever achieved, is being compared to that man. Not on the same stratosphere. Watch England. Please, I beg you. You watch Spain tonight in the Euros, right? Watch England tomorrow and look at the difference, please. I'm begging you. Just look at the difference in terms of play styles and what they do. I saw Bavs. You know Bavs. I saw Bavs on Twitter the other day saying Declan Rice is the best number 6, the best DM in the world. And when people started throwing Rodri's name at him, he's like, I'm talking about, you know, specialist number 6. And I'm like, hang on. You are erasing this guy out of the conversation so that you can put your guy on a pedestal and put him above the rest. Our guy is that good that you've gone, well, no, he passes forwards, so he can't be a defensive midfielder. That must be the situation. Because how can you look at Rodri and go, he is not a holding midfielder? I don't know how you don't class him as that. Like, I don't understand the comparisons. We get these comparisons.
What is a specialist defensive midfielder? What even is that?
I don't know. I saw Bavs talking about Declan Rice, and I thought I was losing my marbles, and he doesn't classify Rodri as a holding midfielder for some reason. He classes Rice as one, though. I don't understand the fucking logic of Arsenal fans. It's just fucking ridiculous, man. We get this, though. We're going to continue to get this, where some club is going to compare their guy to ours, and then all you've got to do is kind of wait, and when the talking on the pitch really does it, it does it for us. You don't have to say much.
Arsenal fans, man, they're the most confused little mutants on the internet. The most confused and brain dead little mutants on the internet. They fully believe in their own hype. They fully believe everything they say. And if you disagree with them, they get all personal with you. They start getting nasty with you. They're like children. Do you know what I mean? They're like girls. Yeah? They're like girls aged 14 and 15. Instead of being able to have a debate with you or a conversation with you, they just get nasty. They're like little girls. That's what the Arsenal fans online are like. I'll always say, I know plenty of decent Arsenal fans, but the ones that I come across on Twitter are a particular set of acoustic people. That's where we're at. Acoustic people.
I just don't know what goes through their heads most of the time, because they bump their players up. They gas up their players, which they're entitled to do, but they gas them up to levels where they're talking about, best in their position. And then when rival fans hold those players to those standards and they don't perform, then they get all fucking arsey and defensive. It's like, you've gassed them up to that level. You've told us Rice is the best in his position, the Saliba is the best in his position, that Kai Havertz can play football, Ødegaard is the best in his position, all of this. You've told us all of this, and then when we hold those players to those standards that you tell us that they're at, and they don't perform, suddenly it's our fault and we shouldn't be going in on the players, and it's just agendas, and it's just so fucking backwards. If you can't handle a player not playing to the standard that you put them at, either don't put them at that standard so there's not as much gas, or just, accept the criticism. Because that's exactly what we're doing. When, let's say Foden, we hype up Foden all the time, and Rodri, let's say they have a bad game, we take it on the chin. It is what it is. Every player can have a bad game. But you go to an Arsenal fan and they tell you that Saliba's the best centre-back in Europe, and then he might have a bad game, and you say that he was pretty shit tonight, or, whenever. Then they get all defensive, and then they start going at you. And it's just, well, don't gas him up then.
Exactly. No, Manchester Blue, you don't have to spam. I see what you're saying. To be honest, Manu looks better than Rice in the England midfield. I think Manu's had a better tournament than Rice overall. I really do. I think Manu has looked better in the tournament for England than Declan Rice. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Let me have a look at some of these super chats. They're flying in at the minute. Guys, keep hitting the like button, man. We're 4 likes off 50. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Big up Roberto again comes in and says, I think Mbappe fucks up that dressing room. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell what impact and what relationship Mbappe has with that French team. I think there is rifts in that dressing room, though. I mean, I saw the body language from Griezmann when he came on the pitch tonight off the bench. I was like, yeah, he thinks he should have been starting. I could tell he's not happy that he wasn't starting. I don't know how Mbappe feels. Mbappe's had a shit tournament, like a really bad tournament. Mbappe did not win the Champions League with PSG. He stunk the gaff out for France this summer. He should not be even in the conversation for Ballon d'Or. He should not be, but he will be. He will be. I promise you, he will be. But he shouldn't be. Big up to you, Roberto, man. Appreciate your super chats, my brother. Piplup, my man, Piplup says, Lothar Matthäus won the Ballon d'Or as a DM in 1991. There's some ball knowledge for you. As long as Messi still plays football, he's the best. Rodri isn't on the same level as Busquets. Oh, Piplup, man, Piplup. You confuse me, Piplup, sometimes. You know that? Rodri isn't the same level as Busquets for me now. Maybe he needs a World Cup. But in terms of impact, I think he is. Joe?
Do you want me to put my neck out on the line?
Go for it.
He's not on the same level as Busquets. He's overtaken
Why?
him. He's overtaken him. He's overtaken him.
Oh,
he's better.
Okay, go on. Argue with Piplup. Tell Piplup.
Argue with Piplup. There's no winning that argument, I feel. Listen, my personal opinion, I kind of caught the tail end of Busquets' career, and I guess that probably overall in terms of a career, I think you can obviously make the argument Busquets, he's got international pedigree, Champions Leagues, but in terms of peak, peak for this position, for the holding midfield position, I ain't seen nothing like this. I ain't seen 60 games season in, season out of carrying both club and country over the line numerous times. It's like there's not a single thing that I don't think Rodri cannot do on a football pitch. I think Busquets was similar. But
To add to that, Joe, Busquets was playing in the midfield with Xavi and Iniesta.
Yeah.
Rodri for Spain is playing with Fabian Ruiz and
Dani
Who?
Olmo,
Dani Olmo.
Pedri
Good players.
sometimes.
yeah, good players, but they ain't Xavi and Iniesta.
Yeah, I think that's another factor as well. When you look at them Spain teams that won the international tournaments, they had David Silva, Iniesta, Xavi, Cesc Fabregas, and Busquets. It's significantly better than this current Spain team. And again, Busquets had Xavi and Iniesta at club level as well, and Messi, and these other players. Like we can go on and on. I'm not saying Rodri ain't played with no slouches. He's played with David Silva as well at club level, Kevin De Bruyne. But we're talking about Busquets being surrounded by the greatest of greats in those positions. So I don't know. I still think Rodri for me. It's one of the best peaks I have ever seen.
Look, you're confusing me heavily here. We almost lost the Premier League because of Rodri after he decided to choke slam Gibbs White, which was in what? No, October?
Match week, probably like 8 or something. There's about 30 games left to go. That does not cost us a Premier League. You do not lose the Premier League in the first half of the season, let alone first 10 games. Doesn't happen.
No.
If he did that towards the end, then you can make the argument, but not to start.
Yeah. I would have taken it on board if it was like 6 months later, but not September, people. Not September. Big up Briggsy, member for 5 months. Good man, Briggsy. Nearly at that 6 month mark. Rodri don't need Ballon d'Or. He's got City, Spain. Of course, Rodri may say, look, I'm racking up trophies at club and international level right now. I don't need these individual awards, but I think he deserves them. And I think it's time we made a stance against the popularity and PR contest that is the Ballon d'Or and started saying, you know what I mean? When man deserves it, give it to man. Haland deserved it. Rodri deserves it. We should have back-to-back Ballon d'Ors. City should have back-to-back Ballon d'Ors. But it ain't happening. It ain't happening. We're not going to get one. It's a joke, man. It's a joke.
It's funny how much the Champions League counts when it's Real Madrid who wins it, but how little it counts when it's someone like us who wins it. It's just the contrast in clubs. I know Messi won a World Cup, right? But same thing still fucking applies. Like you can't say you can't. Alvarez literally won everything apart from the Carabao Cup and Community Shield. Won everything that was on offer. Where was his high Ballon d'Or ranking? It's just kind of that's why it doesn't bother me too much, the Ballon d'Or, because it's very much you can throw one argument like the trophies argument. But then I can name you a player who'd done just as much. Like any one of those players in the Argentina squad also won the World Cup. Why was the Ballon d'Or not flooded with Argentina players? Numerous Argentina players, high ranking on that. Alvarez won a treble. Messi's obviously Messi. It just doesn't make sense. And then you throw the other end of it where you look at numbers. Haaland scored 52 in a season. He didn't win it with the numbers and all the PR around him as well. So it's very much club biased, and it does. There is a track record with the Ballon d'Or where it does heavily favour international competitions. Remember when Modric won it because he took he took Croatia to it was a World Cup final, that one, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, lost to France.
Yeah, he lost the World Cup final but won the Ballon d'Or because he took little old Croatia there and obviously Champions League and all of this other fanfare stuff, plays for Real Madrid. Like it's very much a Real Madrid award because they usually win the Champions League. But again, when we won it, we won the Champions League. It didn't really count for any extra points.
No, exactly. Big up LFC Simon, good to see you, my bro. He says, Hugh, all the people who knows football will say Rodri, but it's very rare to see midfielder win Ballon d'Or. I think Rodri deserves it, but Vinny gets it. I still think Vinny will get it, but I think Rodri deserves it more than Vinny. That's where I'm at. I think Rodri deserves it more than Vinny, but I think Vinny will get it because Vinny has great PR too. Vinny has great popularity and great PR too, and he plays for Real Madrid. So it's, as Joe's just outlined, it's very, very fucking hard to compete with that. But you're right. I think anybody who watches the game properly and understands the importance of players like Rodri, or just the player Rodri, you'll understand that Rodri deserves it. The impact he's had at both club and country level for 2 years now, 2 years, it's not to be ignored. It's really not to be ignored. He's the best footballer in the world. He's the best footballer in the world right now. But he doesn't get the headlines because he doesn't have the PR. He plays for Manchester City, and he's not an attacker. He doesn't get the goals. You know what I mean? He's not going to bend one in like Lamine Yamal tonight. Even though Rodri has scored a fair few important goals in his life. You know, the one against Villa, the one against Arsenal, the one against in Champions League final. You know what I'm saying? Rodri is not short of big moments. He scored in this tournament once. So he's not short of big moments. Name me another defensive midfielder over the last 5 years who has impacted any team the way Rodri has. I'll wait. I'll sit here and wait. It's time people started saying, you know what? The guy deserves his flowers. Let's stop this nonsense of, well, who's the hottest name right now? Who's the most popular dog in the kennel? Who's everyone liked the most? Who gets the most attention? Let's just say, who's the best? Who's the best? Rodri's the best. Give it to him.
I feel like that's another thing as well, because even though he doesn't score a lot of goals, like his output is still absolutely fucking ridiculous for the position that he plays.
Bayern.
Like his output. Let's bring back the comparison Busquets to Rodri. Rodri's output is, or at least I feel like, by when all is said and done, it will probably be higher, if not higher already. Well, Busquets wasn't scoring screamers in the Champions League, scoring Champions League winning goals in the final. That's another thing as well, that you have to take into account, where even for this is the best return Rodri's had in a season. Was it 20 GNA in the Premier League as a holding midfielder? Like,
let me get it up on your.
That's insane for that level. I'm trying to see if I can figure out what Busquets got in terms of his entire career compared to Rodri's, because I mean, from what I remember from Busquets, he wasn't the heavy output player. He was just, the cog. He was the vital piece in the machine that kept it all ticking, which, fair enough. He was vital to that Barcelona team, but Rodri's vital to our team, but he still puts up numbers as well. So, like, the last season he just had was insane numbers. And again, when we didn't have him, we felt like a completely different team. We're a completely different team. And again, when you talk about the other players, when you take Vinicius out of Madrid, they still have, suitable cover that can come in. You look at, Rodrigo usually plays on the other side. You've got Arda Güler, you've got Brahim Diaz, you've got other midfield players that can come in. Modric was usually sat on the bench waiting. You take out Rodri, you got Kovacic. And it's kind of just like a significant drop off.
Yeah. Listen to this, man. Listen to this. Chat. Listen, please deep this. Please deep this. I see what you're saying, people. Barca didn't need Busquets to get goals, though. City do need Rodri to get goals. And he's doing it. Listen to this. Deep this now, please. Get out your pen and paper if you need to. 50 appearances this season for City in all competitions. 50 on the button. 4,327 minutes. He got 9 goals and 14 assists. So 23 GNA in 50 games. He almost has a 1-2 GNA ratio. For a defensive midfielder. Almost a 1-2 ratio for GNA. Like, that's fucking mental. Mental. Yeah, I know you see what you're saying, because our wingers don't score, but someone has to pick up that slack. And you would say maybe it's the strikers, maybe it's the attacking midfielders, and some of them did. But Rodri did. That is an insane season of stats in the Premier League and Champions League for a defensive midfielder. Boy, Joe, man, that is nuts stats.
Yeah, but I guess he's not exciting. He doesn't have any social media presence. Not doing anything to get himself in the tabloids ever. He's not really like out and about and doing stuff. No silly antics. No nothing. For all we know, the guy trains, goes home, goes bed, gets up, trains, goes home, goes bed, gets up, plays, goes home, goes bed, and rinse and repeat. For all we know, that's all he does because his name is never anywhere. Like,
Man, I'm about to validate your point here, big time, Joe. I'm about to validate your point here, big time, my friend. I think. Let me just make sure I have this correct. Yeah, let me just make sure I have this correct. In his whole career, Busquets scored 19 goals.
Rodri got 9 in the league this season.
19 goals. I think I'm actually wiping my eyes to make sure I'm reading this correctly. So he made 770 appearances in his whole career with 19 goals and 52 assists.
I suspect his assist numbers are probably higher because he played for longer.
52.
Because he played for longer. But the goals will be lower.
So Busquets is on 770 appearances with 19 and 52. I'm gonna get Rodri's entire career stats now, and we're gonna just if you want to do stats, people, we can do stats. Trust me, man. I don't mind doing stats with you lot.
I'm trying to think of goals. It would be it could be double, you know.
Rodri in his whole career has 33 goals and 37 assists. Now look.
So basically, stats-wise, they're pretty even, and Rodri's probably played, I don't know how many less games than Busquets.
Busquets has one more G in A. Busquets 71, Rodri 70. And Rodri's still playing in his prime.
Rodri's still playing at what age is he now? What is he, 28?
I'm going to tell you, do you want the stats on that too? I can give you the stats on that too.
I think he's 28, and Busquets played till he was about 38. So
Rodri's
Busquets
just
played another decade.
28. He's just turned 28 like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, and Busquets played another decade on top of this.
And Busquets has one more G&A than Rodri. Busquets 71, Rodri 70. Deep. What we are experiencing right now. Wow.
Yeah, man, he might have overtaken him. I think he has. In terms of peak performance, I think he has. Career-wise, he's still got a long way to go. Because those Barcelona teams were nutty, but
bear in mind, Busquets' whole career was Barcelona. Rodri spent the first like 3-4 years of his career at Villarreal, then went to Atletico, and then went to Man City. So deep the difference in players they're playing with too, until Rodri got to Man City, of course. So Rodri got to Man City at what, 24 years old?
Listen, man, I want to hear Busquets' name. I want to hear all the old Donnies like Mateus and any other generational, legendary holding midfield player. I don't want to hear none of this fucking Declan Rice bollocks anymore. I can't stand it. He's not on the same fucking stratosphere.
Nope. Declan Rice. No. Declan Rice.
You ain't sitting at the same table as these, man. No way. Nah. Probably never will be either. Probably never. You count yourself lucky. Count yourself lucky that you can even speak his name in the same sentence. Yeah? Yeah?
Declan.
We're not doing this.
Declan. Deckers. Ricey Rice. Rice baby. Sorry, mate. You're not invited.
Who invited my man? Who told him he could sit at the table? Who told him that? Who gassed up this guy?
Sorry, mate, you're not welcome here, mate.
We are not entertaining this any longer.
Caicedo. Who's Caicedo, man? Who is Caicedo?
Listen, I tolerated Casemiro because of what he did at Madrid. I still thought it was fucking wrong and outrageous when he joined Man United, but I tolerated it because he had the legacy of all the Champions Leagues at Real Madrid, and he too can sit at that table in terms of legacy in that position. So I could tolerate Casemiro. Again, I thought it was wrong. I did think Rodri was better, but I could tolerate it. What has Declan Rice done in his career to be mentioned in the same conversation? Nada. He's done nothing. Come on, you He's got a better trophy record, right, at West Ham than he does at Arsenal, right? He's got a European Cup at West Ham. Yeah, leave it out.
Leave your Conference League at the door, mate. Yeah, we bring real trophies to this table. We bring real trophies to this table. We don't bring Conference League trophies with us. I'm sorry about that, Rice. Listen,
fucking idiot. Honestly, they didn't compare Rice with Rodri when he was at West Ham, which is where he's been more successful in terms of trophy haul. The minute he joins Arsenal, which is less successful trophy haul wise, they start comparing him. It's fucking... This is what I mean, man. Don't gas up your players to these standards, because it will bite you in the ass if they can't meet those standards. I watch Rice pass backwards most of the time, yeah? I watch England.
Look, the fact that we even see and have to have conversations about, does Rice have enough progressive passes? And then Arsenal fans have to get on their keyboards and go, where's the stats, progressive passes? The fact that we have to have that conversation already ends the debate. Already ends the debate that we're questioning, does he have enough progressive passes? When he may not. Comparing Rice to Rodri is like comparing prime Busquets to Michael Carrick. There you go, Mario. There you go. Declan Rice, I'm sorry, mate. You're not and never will be on Rodri's level. I'm comfortable in saying that. Never will be. I think Rice is a good player, a very good player, and he's very good at what he's there to do, which is just be a traditional number 6, a bashman, a destroyer, a presence in midfield. I think he's very good at what he's there to do. But there's a lot of levels to this game. You know what I mean? A lot of levels, and Rodri's at the top of this game. Rice is still playing, you know what I mean, GTA 4, where Rodri's already on GTA 6 and he's completed campaign. So let's just agree on that. Got another super chat here. Big up LFC Sai again. LFC Sai, you are a legend, man. He says, Hugh, I think Rodri will finish his career level above Sergio. I've seen prime Sergio. He is not goal scorer. Rodri can do all. I wish my team has him. He means Busquets. I thought he meant Aguero there for a second. I can't even lie.
Well, that's a whole nother fucking debate, isn't it? It was just the better number 16, Rodri or Aguero. I think we could be here all fucking night.
It's...
What have you got? You've got the Aguero goal, or you've got Istanbul. Take your pick.
Yeah,
we're not doing this.
I'm a nostalgia merchant in that sense. Like Sergio Aguero is always my king, always. I know De Bruyne has probably had a better City career than Aguero, but Aguero is always my king, always my king. But yeah, Joe's already said on LFC site that he thinks Rodri has surpassed Busquets. I get it. It's still a debate. It's still a debate people can have 100%. And if you believe Busquets is better than Rodri, that's totally valid, because Busquets was a fucking freak of nature. But so is Rodri. So it's a debate that exists, and it's a debate I'm comfortable in existing with. You know, I'm not comfortable sitting and having conversations go, well, look at the impact Declan Rice has had alongside Martin Odegaard and blah, 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 blah. Please.
I feel like I should preface as well, by the way. I did say that he's got a higher peak. I ain't saying that he's had a better career than Busquets, because Busquets has international trophies, multiple Champions Leagues. Yeah, exactly. So when I say Rodri's better, I mean I think Rodri's had a higher peak. In terms of individual player, I think he's better. In terms of the peak levels of performance. Career-wise, still got a bit to go.
I think you would choose Busquets' career at the minute over Rodri, for sure, simply for the fact that 3 Champions Leagues, a World Cup, a Euros, 9 La Ligas. You know, like Busquets has got medals, man. Busquets has got plenty of medals. But I get Joe's argument in terms of peaks, man. I get Joe's argument in terms of who's had the higher peak. I think it's a debate. It's a valid debate to have. So, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Big up to you, LFC Sai. Absolute king, my friend. King. Right, people, hit that like button, man. We're on 60 likes. Hit the thumbs up button. Subscribe if you're new. Keep getting in your opinions. Piplup, I see you, my brother. I see you. I'm reading everything you say. I love Rodri, but I just can't put him above Busquets or Fernandinho. He's had a better career. He's
I
better
can
than
put him
Fernandinho.
firmly above Fernandinho.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I love
Nino.
Fernandinho.
I love Nino.
Like, we were there for his last game. Like,
Yeah.
I love Fernandinho, but if y'all try to tell me he's better than Rodri, no. No, this guy is insane. I think Fernandinho unfortunately can't sit at that table with
For ability, no. For ability, no.
Busquets and Casemiro and Rodri. Can't sit at that table.
No. Do you know what Fernandinho is? Fernandinho is a better version of what Declan Rice is, or that he was a better version of what Declan Rice is. I think he did what Declan Rice does better, but in terms of the whole tech ability package and everything put into Rodri, I think Rodri's better than Fernandinho. I can't lie. Bro, Rodri scored a Champions League winning goal. Come on, that's at club level. That's the best thing you can do. Win your club the Champions League, and he was instrumental in that whole campaign. The Real Madrid game, the goal against Bayern. You know, remember the Leipzig game? What was it? Where Haland scored 5. Rodri lit it up that night too. Rodri, man.
Fernandinho is like the fakest Brazilian I know. The man was so like anti everything that you think of your typical Brazilian player, or the flair, the technical ability. Fernandinho was just a straight fucking bastard. He used to go around kicking people. That's not Brazilian, my friend.
He had ability, definitely. A lot of ability.
Oh, yeah, but that man was the king of tactical fouls. My God.
Yeah. Big up LFC site member for 1 month. I think JTI right now is the king of members for July so far. We're going to get it on screen for who's the biggest gifter each month. We'll get like a crown beside their name, and we'll put it on screen with us for that month. I think JTI is the king at the minute, but LFCCI, I know you give quite a bit too, so we'll have to double check that. He says, if I am pick World 11, I will take Rodri over Sergio Busquets. Damn, that's a big statement. That's a big statement. Grizz tweeted positively about a Man City player for once. What's his fucking Twitter name? Grizz is usually very anti Man City players, but no, he says something along those lines as well. Oh, I can't find it, man. I can't find it. He said, if I'm picking a best in the world 11 right now, Rodri's the first name on the team sheet. If you have people like Grizz saying these things, you know, it means something. It means something, man. Look, the point of this stream, we are going to talk about Dani Olmo in a sec, but the point of the stream was, look, I really believe it's time we start saying, you know what, fuck the whole system, fuck the matrix, whatever. You know what I mean? Whatever population is stopping our players getting the awards they deserve, fight against it, man. Let's make sure Rodri gets the Ballon d'Or, or push for it. Make it clear that we want him to get it. I wanted Haland to get it, and he didn't get it. Big up to you, LFC Simon, member for 1 month, man. Congratulations. Who's the longest member? Briggsy is the longest member, man. Briggsy is the longest member. You are the GOAT as far as the members go.
He just wanted his name talked about on stream. He said, who's the longest member? You know you were the first.
Right, let's talk about the attacking midfielder side of things. Hit that like button again, people. Another reminder, hit the like button and subscribe if you're new around here. I can't lie, you know. I can't lie about Dani Olmo. He's caught my eye. Dani Olmo has caught my eye. He's caught my attention. He's grasped my attention, and he said, look, maybe I'm your guy, Hugh. Dani Olmo said, maybe I'm what you need. And I said, maybe you are, but I want to chat to my community first. I want to chat to the subscribers at HMTV. I want to chat to Joe first. I want to chat to everyone before we decide if Dani Olmo is what we need. But tell you what, though, I do like him, man. I do like him, Joe.
My opinion hasn't changed. I'm not like flip-floppy with that. I've always maintained that I think that he's a good player. He's nothing special, but he's a good player. He would come in and he would fit what we have, because he's very versatile and can play across the front, basically across the front three, attacking midfield, maybe not up front, but we don't need that to play left, right. Attacking midfield, probably play him as an 8. So I've always maintained the stance that he's a very City signing, because he's not going to cost the world, and he fits what we have.
But it's a release clause.
Yeah, exactly. So it's such a City signing, but his injury record it's not disgusting. I've seen worse, but I've also seen miles better with his injury
Haaland.
record. I really have. I know.
Haaland
I was about to make the point. Haaland had a pretty bad one as well before we signed him, and he's kept it pretty clean. I know he missed 2 months last season in sort of November, December time period. But that's the most major it's got. I think he only maybe missed a couple the season before, like when we won the treble. He was pretty much consistently available because we managed him really well. He always used to get, be on 2 goals, 70 minutes, be taken off. Alvarez would come on, so we protected him pretty well. And, we could probably do the same with Dani Olmo, thinking we got Kevin De Bruyne, Phil Foden, you got Bernardo Silva can play there if we don't need him on the right, if Savio's going to come in there. Can we shift on Mateus Nunes? If not, he's still there. Kovacic, like we've got bodies to be able to protect him and not have to, force him to play every week. Mm-hmm. But it still doesn't fill me with that much confidence, his injury record, and as well his underlying numbers in terms of just like G&A. It's not like spectacular, or at least I don't think it's anything special. And in the Bundesliga specifically, which again, it's got a hit and miss record of producing signings that work, but we have a very much hit record of signing from the Bundesliga, which doesn't concern me in that regard of signing a Bundesliga player, because maybe a few years ago I would have looked at it and gone, oh, Bundesliga tax, he probably won't be as good, but we have a good track record. My only issue is his numbers in the Bundesliga attacking-wise aren't the greatest, and the Bundesliga is known for being a very much attacking, fast-paced, open league with a lot of goals and, not great overall defending. At least that's my understanding. Whenever I watch the Bundesliga, the lines are really high, there's loads of space in behind, every team plays like that, and there's just goals, there's good attacking play, and if his numbers aren't great in that, how's he going to face when we play against a low block 9 out of 10 times? Like, how is he going to react to that? He's a creative player, so I don't think there'd be, major issues, but there is obviously the question marks of how good is his output going to be? Because, let's be frank, 4 goals, 5 assists, and only 21 games played in the Bundesliga all season is not great underlying numbers for fitness and or output.
Before we continue, I just want to say, hit the soundboard, Joe. LFC Sai with the one gifted membership. Big up LFC Sai, man. My king. Big up to you, LFC Sai, man. Massively appreciate you. And Foden got the membership. Foden, make sure you thank LFC Sai. Big up to you, LFC Sai, you absolute legend. Right, Dani Olmo, the information you guys may want on him. He has 3 years left on his contract. He is currently sitting on €181,000 a week. So you're looking at 160-ish thousand pounds a week. And he has a release clause of €60 million. So you're looking at around a 53 million pound release clause. And LSE Sai has just gifted again, Joe, with the soundboard. King, you king, LFC Sai, you king. Mario gifted this time, man. Mario gifted this time. LFC Sai, I think you're the king of the members now, man. We're gonna have to get your name on screen for the next one. Big up to you, man. Big up to you, Mario. Make sure you thank him. Right, big up to you, LFC Sai. We'll call it 53 million pound release clause. Is Olmo worth that? I'm just looking through all his seasons here, Olmo. He never seems to really crack 15 G&A. He always seems to get 6, 7, 8 goals, maybe 8, 9, 10 assists, or sorry, less than that even. Could he improve that at City? Yes, he probably could. His injury record, as I've already said, he missed 1, 2, 3, 4, or that's a different season. This season, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 games this season for Leipzig in all comps through injury. And these injuries were scattered amongst the season, so they weren't like one big injury that held him out for a while. He's 26, man. He's 26. We signed Jack Grealish 26. We signed Fernandinho at 28. People, 26 is not old. 26 is not old in football. I don't know why we have in our heads that 26 is an old age. And at that release clause, it's pretty good. It's just his stats, really. It's his stats and his injury record, which kind of make me go, But every time I watch him on TV, he seems to get something. I've watched him for Leipzig a few times, and every time he scores or assists. But it seems when I don't watch him, he doesn't get anything. Watch him for Spain, he scores or assists. He scored a goal against, or was the winner he scored against Croatia, maybe? He scored a goal there. He scored tonight. I know it was given as an OG, but you know what I mean? He played well. And I like his overall play. He's slightly different to what we currently have in that role. He's a slightly different type of player to De Bruyne and Foden. All three of them are different types of players to each other, which would make for a nice variety and a nice mix of options at Manchester City. And as I've already said, I would like a different player. I would like another player off the bench to offer us something different in a moment of needing of change. Like, I look back at that Real Madrid home leg and I go, we could have maybe done with a Gundogan. We could have maybe done with a different type of winger or midfielder and said, yeah, you can come off the bench and you can give them something different to think about. And we just didn't have it. But is Dani Olmo that guy? And it's not settled in my head. Like, I've not said, yeah, I won't bring me Dani Olmo, but he's doing his thing, Joe.
I'd still be a bit underwhelmed, to be honest. Yeah, I mean,
But
do you know what,
who's not going to underwhelm you? And don't say Musiala because it ain't happened. Who's not going to underwhelm you?
I don't think that there is anyone that isn't going to underwhelm me with, in terms of, in that position. I want like a wow factor player. Like, I thought that Paqueta was okay. I'll put Dani Olmo in the same breath. I think he's okay. I'll put Eze in the same breath. I think he's okay. They're just not wow, you know, they're not superstar names. And I guess if you've got to keep hold of De Bruyne, then you don't need that. So it's fine. I have nothing against it. But if this is the future proofing, if we're going, right, got one more season of De Bruyne, we need to replace him. Maybe we bring Dani Olmo in now and he could be the replacement. No. God, no. We need someone else for that. So it kind of depends where they see him as a fit, really. If they view him as that extra body and they're still going to go out and replace Kevin De Bruyne, then I really don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with it. Okay, do you know what? When you were reading out his numbers, do you know the first player I thought of when you were reading out his numbers? It was Gabriel Jesus.
Okay.
If it 14, 15 G&A max, never really broke into the 20s. Gabriel Jesus all over. That's what he did, didn't he? His highest goal scoring season was 14 as a striker. It was okay. It was a good player, but it wasn't, wow. Which I think is okay, because we're talking about a squad player. We're not talking about a guy who's going to come in and start every week. Because in his position, we have Foden, we still have De Bruyne. So it's okay, but it's not a signing that makes me go, wow. I still don't think it's, substantial enough to go, right, we get Dani Olmo and Savio and maybe a holding midfielder. Like, that's kind of the three in the summer. Like, I think we need to keep going. I wouldn't look at Olmo and go, he's number one, we get that in, we see who else goes, and then we act. Like, it's another signing where I think unless we sell anybody, like a Nunes or a Kovacic or anyone, Bernardo Silva somehow magically finds a buyer, it's not necessary, because there's other positions. I'm still looking at holding midfielders before I'm even thinking about signing Dani Olmo.
Yeah, well, yeah. That goes without saying.
So I haven't really given myself time to process it and go, yeah. I wouldn't say I want it. I think that's what I'm trying to say. I wouldn't say that I'm desperate for us to sign Dani Olmo, but I'd be okay with it. I really would be okay with it. Another option, a versatile option. I think I'd like it. If the club think that they can do what they did with Haland and other players and keep their injuries down, then fine, because that's the main issue. I don't think his numbers are the worst. They may get a bump if he comes here because we've got better players. And because he's missing so much time, of course, there's other factors into his numbers. If he's missing, 4 games in a row, it might take him a couple of games to get back up to speed. Might be making a couple of, bench appearances to get fitness in him. So some of those appearances might not be for long. And again, it's a very disruptive season when you're getting injured. So maybe his numbers will go up if he manages to stay fit. But that's the biggest issue for me. It's not his underlying numbers, because I look at someone like Jack Grealish. His numbers for City have not been phenomenal. They've been pretty underwhelming. but he's still a good player. Like Dani Olmo, fine, he's still a good player. His numbers might be underwhelming. It's the fitness. If he can stay fit, then fine.
I think I'd like Dani Olmo. I think I'd like him, and I would be happy to sign him. Sorry, people. Big up Slam, man. Good to see you, Slam, in the chat. Says all this Olmo talk has made me feel for Bobb and Lewis. They're getting no chance. This is it. What role do we see Oscar Bobb playing this season? What role do we see Oscar Bobb playing? I think Oscar Bobb warrants a bit more game time. I'm not saying Oscar Bobb should be first name in the team sheet week in, week out, but he should definitely be bumped up in his minutes. Let me have a look at how many minutes Oscar Bobb played this season. But, if you bring in Dani Olmo, you're probably... you are taking minutes off Oscar Bobb. Dani Olmo last season for Leipzig spent most of his time on the right wing. So you're going to be taking time off Oscar Bobb. And then as well, I see that in the chat, Olmo's not better than Wirtz. If you bring Olmo in, you're probably not going to get a Wirtz ever. But, were we ever going to get Wirtz anyway? I know a lot of people talk about Florian Wirtz, but my opinion is we're never going to get him. Oscar Bobb this season for Man City played 819 minutes. Yeah, that should be up to the 1,500 mark for me this season. Up to the 1,500. I wouldn't be doing more than 1,500 to be honest, because he's still what? He's 20. He's just turned 20, literally. Or no, he turns 21, man. He turns 21 in 3 days. Big up Oscar Bobb, man. But yeah, I'd probably anywhere between 1,500 and 2,000. That's what I'd say is comfortable for giving Oscar Bobb game time. Definitely more than 819. How do we feel about that? You know what I mean? Do we want Olmo enough to not play Oscar Bobb that much? I don't know, Joe.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying. I wouldn't even think about signing Dani Olmo or anyone like that until we sell someone. We don't have room currently for another attacker. We've got players. We've got numbers. Regardless of, again, I said this yesterday, regardless of whether you think those players that we have are good enough, we still have the numbers. They're still being paid and they are still in the squad. So until we sell one of them, there isn't really a space opening. Because you've just added, again, I said this yesterday, you've just added Savio. That's one attacking slot. You've got Savio in and you haven't sold anyone. So you've already added one. Is there really, room to add another without getting rid of anyone? Especially if you're going to go and sign a holding midfielder, because then that means Kovacic pushes up. You've got too many options. And then we've got the situation where the squad is too big. We know Pep likes to work with a small squad. The squad is too big. Too many players aren't playing. They get unhappy. They unsettle the dressing room. And then we end up in that situation. And it's not what I want. So I think while I would take Dani Olmo, again, I would... I said this yesterday as well. Still think I would prefer Eze as an option. Still think I prefer Eze, but I would take either on the basis that we are selling someone. That someone is going, and we replace them with one of those two. I'm fine with that.
So Olmo had 8 and 5 last season. 8 goals, 5 assists. Or was it 5 goals, 8 assists? Something like that. I'm gonna have a look at Eze, see what he was like. Because I know a lot of you in the chat, you like your stats. So let's weigh them up. I don't think we're gonna get Eze. Eze got 11 goals and 6 assists for Palace. And he played 31 times in all comps. That's not a bad return. I like
He
Eze.
has a better output and better availability. Like, for me, it's a better option. But I'd still take either on the basis that we sell someone and free up a squad slot. Because again, we're already adding Savio in. We're talking about maybe giving Oscar Bobb more minutes, even though there's more competition for his place. We haven't sold anyone in that position. We sold Sergio Gomez in that position. There's not, freeing up minutes for someone like Dani Olmo to come in, is it? It maybe frees up some minutes for, Oscar Bobb to get a few. Savio comes in and gets a few. We're not even taking into account the fact that a lot of minutes were there for the taking in the first half of the season when De Bruyne was out for 6 months. There was a lot of minutes up for grabs there. You're looking at someone like Alvarez. How much is Alvarez going to play next season when De Bruyne's there from the start and when Haaland's there from the start? Like, there was a lot of things that happened that freed up a lot of minutes in that season. He's not there next season.
My thought process is, if we're not going to sign any attacking style players this summer, it's because Pep views either Oscar, Bobb, or Savio, or both, to be important players this season. Like, much more important than we anticipated. That's the only conclusion I can come to. Either Pep has decided, look, I've got a lot more trust now in Oscar Bobb, going to give him time, or else I think Savio's going to hit the ground running. Because if you don't, if you think both of them ain't ready, then you got to go into the market. Because all you're left with really is Bernardo and Doku, who could play right wing. So
we don't have the room to sign anyone in that position, I think, is the main point. We've sold Sergio Gomez, he's gone. Savio's coming in. That's a 1-for-1. We currently have, the only spot that we have is a holding midfield spot where we need someone who can, give Rodri some rest. That is the only spot that we currently have. That's because we needed one before we sold anyone. And, for anyone else to come in, I feel like we need to sell first. And that's all we've been hearing, isn't it, for the last few weeks, is why it's been so dead transfer news-wise, is because City are just prepared to go in with the same squad because they feel like they need to free up a spot to sign anyone. So they need to not sell to buy in terms of they don't have any money, they need to sell to buy, but sell to buy as in they need to free up a space in the squad to be able to buy. That's the situation that we're in. So even though Sergio Gomez is gone, Savio's coming in. There's your 1-for-1.
In terms of that midfielder that I'm talking about, that I would like different, what are your opinions on this? And I think it's something we could see this season for the first time. The way Pep does something different every season, or he moves someone around a bit every season, and you kind of go, oh, this is new. Let's see, does it work? Like Alvarez midfield, Foden midfield, Bernardo on the wing, even though we saw it a few years ago. He's predominantly a winger this season. What else did we have? We had players playing out of position. Bernardo left back. I think we could see some time for Jack Grealish in midfield this season. I really believe that. I think we could see some time for Jack Grealish in midfield. I see a photo here of Mateus Nunes back in the gym, getting ready for the season. I just don't know what his role is. Look, equally what I said about Bobb and Savio, that Pep may view this upcoming season as big for them, he may view it as big for Nunes. We don't know. I don't think much is going to change in the Kovacic front, but I think we could see some, in an attacking sense, Grealish playing in midfield, because Grealish can be, he can be incisive with his passing, to be fair. He can be creative when given the role, and it may take the shackles off Grealish a bit in terms of just ball retaining and let him be creative. I don't know, do any of you in the chat remember the treble season? Jack Grealish, he wasn't really restricted to just being out wide and being like, just keep the ball, play it back out wide. There were times throughout the treble season where Grealish would be dropping deep in the middle. I remember when he came on against Chelsea that time in Stamford Bridge when we won 1-0 in January. I was there. He came on at half-time. First half, we were a bit lacking. He came on. All of a sudden, Jack Grealish is in the middle of the park and he's deep, picking ball up deep and running through the middle of the park, taking on players, winning fouls, playing passes off. Is that something that we would want to see this season? I'd be more than open to it.
But again, if he's another option to play in the middle, you don't need a Dani Olmo. You don't need no Dani Olmo. But again, if we're going to sign a player in that position, if you want one, we're going to have to get rid of someone. And that means that we've got to have someone that there's interest for. The most interest that we've seen in one of our players is Kevin De Bruyne. He's been the guy that's had the most outside interest in terms of midfield area. Nunes has had a little bit. Grealish, there's been a few rumblings. Yeah, but outfield players, like midfield position, outfield players. It's been Kevin De Bruyne has got the brunt of, the interest in terms of stuff about him leaving. But even then, we expect him to stay. So we just no room for Dani Olmo because Grealish can be unshackled. He can go in there because we've got Doku, we've got Oscar Bobb's playing off the left.
How do you feel about the Grealish one? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it could be a make or break season. With Doku coming through and you expect him to just get better with time, he had an awful season last season. He was barely fit. He was not available to play for much of it, which partly is not his fault because you can't really control injuries, but partly it is because how many times did he come back too soon and get injured again after 20 minutes? Like, that is totally on him for trying to rush back. I get it, he wants to play, he wants to help the team, he doesn't want to lose his spot, but it cost his season by doing that a couple of times. So this is big season for Jack Grealish. In terms of like people mentioning sell, I don't know where that idea is coming from. I think people are jumping the gun in terms of sell. This guy is one season removed from being a vital piece in a treble-winning team, and people are saying sell. I think people are getting too ahead of themselves. Why? Why would you take out this guy who you know what he's going to bring you, you know what he does, you know it works, you know he's valued to the team, and replace him with who? Dani Olmo? Can he stay fit? Eze? Can you get him? You can't get Musiala, he's not really available. Can't get Verts, he's not really available. Like, I just find it bizarre, really, that people are saying sell Grealish. Maybe a couple of years down the line, we see how it goes, because I'm still waiting on him to increase his output. He needs to increase his output. That's something that he needs to do if he wants to stay here long term. But yeah, it's a big season. Same thing with potentially Matheus Nunes. I think Matheus Nunes isn't a bad player whatsoever. He's quite good.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
there's no set role. We don't know what his role is. It's kind of similar with Grealish. He's kind of been banished out wide for we've kind of needed him to be out there because we haven't really had anyone else. We've only really had Foden who can play out there. Now we've got Jeremy Doku. Maybe his role changes and maybe we see more production.
I would like that. I think I would like to see Jack Grealish. And look, you all know, people, I'm part of the GDL, the Grealish Defence League, but I genuinely believe this. Joking aside, I think people are being too harsh on Jack Grealish and they're doing too much on Jack Grealish. He had a tough season, and there was times where Jack Grealish was good last season. There was times, but because he doesn't have any like massive moments and this, that, the other, people don't give him the credit he deserves. Because in that treble season, man, look at the big games in the league. Liverpool home, goal and assist. United away, goal. Chelsea, goal. Arsenal away, goal. Grealish had big moments. He was a big player. And things can happen throughout the course of any season, which obviously happened the season after, whereby it just wasn't his season. He was unlucky with timings, with injuries. He was ill at one point, I remember, in like February, March, and he's rushing back to try and be involved, which I'd like to see. Players really eager to get back, but it was obviously the wrong thing to do. But he's not the first player to do that. Kevin De Bruyne rushed back, didn't he? Kevin De Bruyne rushed back for that Burnley game. Next thing you know, he's out for 6 months. So with Grealish, I don't like this notion that, he had one season where he has no major moments, or we won the league and he wasn't a key part. Get rid of him. It's rubbish. Couple super chats just come in. MCFC, good to see you, my brother. He says Ben Jacobs tweeted that we could make a move for Bruno, and Sam Lee's article still says he's our main target. It's still alive, it looks like. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to see at 10 to 12 on a Tuesday night. Hit the soundboard, Joe. That's what I want to see. That's the super chat. That's the super chat there, MCFC. Bruno's still alive. Manchester City are still alive here. Balotelli. Bruno.
No. I wouldn't read too much into it with the main target stuff. There's a lot of clubs who have a lot of main targets. Still doesn't mean you actually end up getting them. Newcastle are in a position now where they've passed the whole PSR threshold. They're fine. They don't need to sell.
We could push, though. We can push.
Because they have no European football. That is a factor. Of course, if they were trophies as well, if they were to sell him, they could, because it would be a big price tag still. They could go and maybe sign one or two, maybe one really good player, maybe two good players with that cash. So, we could possibly push it. Again, I said when the release clause expired, I don't think it was like the end of, like it was just the end, it was done. Because if no one was willing to pay 100 million, which is his release clause, if no one was willing to pay that, then Newcastle aren't going to demand for more. Like, it doesn't change much, because if no one pays 100, it doesn't matter whether he has a release clause.
If Joe doesn't like fake Brazilians, there you go, people up. Joe hates Brazilians. Joe hates Brazilians, man. Get that in your
Nice.
list.
Yeah,
that in your list.
add me on the list. Don't like fake Brazilians. Why would we want Bruno? I said, listen, I said Fernandinho was a fake Brazilian because the man used to clatter people and there was none of this Joga Bonito fucking rainbow flick shite. He never did any of that you see Ronaldinho and Neymar and Vinicius do, right? That's your typical Brazilian. Fernandinho was the opposite. He used to crunch people, which is why I said fake Brazilian, but he did have tech about him. I don't hate Brazilians, I was just making an observation. He's a fake Brazilian. I love Fernandinho.
I love this super chat though, but MCFC. I'm really glad to read this. I'm gonna read the article. If he's still our main target, that's brilliant news. Because for the last sort of week or so, we felt it was dead because of the Newcastle PSR thing. But I still think it would be such a statement and the correct move for City to say, you know what? I don't care if the release clause is dead. I don't care if you're signed with PR or PSR. PR, man, we're talking too much about PR these days. PSR,
Aura, PR, Aura, PSR, all of these fucking joy words.
This guy. We need this guy. Rodri needs this guy, and he's him. When you say him, he's what we need for what we need. We need the backup. We need the help. We need the supplement. We need the complement. That's Bruno. Now, some of you may not find Bruno to be the sexy signing, the big blockbuster that you want. Like a Musiala or a Wirtz, which I know a lot of you really want. But for what we need, that's Bruno, man. That's Bruno G written all over. So City, forget the release clause being dead. Forget Newcastle being grand financially now. Go and get what we need. It's currently Pep's last season we're coming into right now. Give him what he needs. Ensure Rodri is fit and fresh for longer than what he was last season. Because he was tiring. He probably still is tiring. But he's just busting his ass to try and win that Euros for Spain. Get Bruno in and it solves mega problems. Honestly, it's night and day between having Bruno and not having Bruno Guimaraes. I love that, MCFC, man. Thank you very much for your super chat, my friend. Piplup with £2. If Rico was bigger, he'd be perfect as well. That's actually pretty true, to be fair. I think, Joe.
Yeah, if he was bigger, then we would not be having this conversation. But unfortunately, he's quite small, and there's nothing that we can do about that. There's nothing he can do about that. We're a bit late for growth hormones and all of that. I mean, he can maybe bulk up a little bit and fill out his frame, but he's still, again, he's what, like 5'6", 5'7". He's still always going to be on the shorter side, even if he does bulk up.
Yeah. No, I think you're right though, Piplup. I think overall you're right in what you're saying. To be fair, he has the technical ability and he understands our game well enough to play that role. But there is, unfortunately, it's probably that and goalkeeper are probably, you could argue centre half too, but there is some smaller size centre halves. That and goalkeeper are probably the two areas of the pitch where you want size and physicality, and that's just, Mother Nature said to Rico, that's not what you're getting. LFC Sai, big up to you again. Says Olmo release clause 60 million will expire by June 15th, and we're at June 9th. Right, so we're not getting him for a release clause anyway.
June? We're in July, fella.
Oh, he probably means July. He probably means July.
I'd expect that's July because June is long gone. If it expired 15th of June, we're about a month late.
Yeah, it's probably July. You mean, Si? I assume you mean July.
Yeah,
but
I'm assuming July.
I don't think we'll even do it by then. If I'm being totally honest, but look, I don't think we're gonna get him at all. If I'm being real, I would if we got him, I'd be like, cool, great. Let's look forward to it. Let's see how this pans out. But I'm sure the club and Pep have a plan. What I want the most is that Bruno super chat from MCFC to be true. I want that to still be alive. I want that to still be a priority for City because, look, I promise you people, just trust me on this. If we sign Bruno, on the watch along, well, it won't be a watch along because I'll probably be at the game, but the day we win the league next season, you lot will come to me and say, Hugh, you were right. Hugh, you were right. We needed Bruno. We got Bruno. We've now won 5 in a row, and we've won a Champions League, and now we've won another treble. Wow, Hugh, you're so good.
You're putting it on the line. Oh dear.
Wow, Hugh, you're so good looking. You're so good looking.
No, we'll stop it there, right? But I do hope to God that one of anybody in the chat, right? I hope to God you're recording some of this or gonna clip it, because I remember at the start of the stream he said, I can't remember exactly what you said. You did say something that was clippable, but that's another moment. Clip it and come back at the end of the season, and if we haven't won the league and we haven't signed Bruno, I want you to come back with the clip.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, whatever.
And if we win the league without Bruno, you can still come back and go, I told you we didn't need him.
Yeah, you can. That's fair. Listen, it's fair game, people. You can clip whatever the hell you want here. If you're subscribed, you can do whatever the hell you want. It's totally up to you. Joe Soundboard. LFC Sai is the top gifter in July, man. He is the king of the members right now. LFC Sai, to all you members, LFC Sai is our king, our Lord and Savior right now, man. Used to be Professional Idiot. Now we're into a new month. LFC Sai, man, you've gifted 3 or 4 memberships tonight. Massive thank you to you. Darsh, you were gifted this time. Make sure you do thank LFC Sai. For a Liverpool fan, he's a really good guy, I must say. For a Liverpool fan, you know what I mean? There's not many of them, but LFC Sai is one of them. Big up to you, LFC Sai.
There's a significant higher margin of a higher number of good Liverpool fans than I'd say good Arsenal fans. Either that or there's a significantly higher ratio of horrible Arsenal fans. Hey, listen, they came out of the woodworks in the last 2 years when they've actually been good for once. My God, I ain't seen anything like... They are so noisy for a team that's won nothing.
I didn't see any Arsenal fans properly online, other than the AFTV clips, for years. I saw them with no chest. There was none of this, and it's all sin. No, none of that for years.
No, Flandern forever.
Whatever the weather, we have a dog, mate. We saw none of that for years. Then all of a sudden, they go 249 days on top of the league and they're back. Shush! Shut your mouth. Back in your box. It's 20 years since you won anything. Shut up, mate. Oi! What's going on here? The chat, man. It's Joe Sandboard twice. Whoa! What the hell are going on? What the hell are going on here? And gifted.
Someone came for his crown. Someone came for his crown. You dared to crown another king.
Oi! He's back to reclaim his crown. I thought you were dead.
You tried to crown another king and he wasn't having it.
Nah. Professional Idiot heard the term LFC Sai is the king of the members, and he said, hell nah. No one's taking my crown off me. Joe, what the hell, man? Professional Idiot, who's got them, man? Who's got them? If you got one, yeah, shut your mouth, you. I'm here. Nah, I know. JY, Louis, Facts Over Feelings, Andy Slate, Fraser, Paolo, Elder, Semi-Synthetic, Psychedelic, and Ray. You were all gifted from It's Alive. He's alive. JY, yeah, man. He ain't playing. He's the king. He's just the king, isn't he? He's just the king around here. And we kind of have to just accept that. And I love it. Great photo on his profile. And it always makes my day a bit better. When I see that profile,
surely he's due for another persona soon. He's had
this is a recent one, isn't it? This is a pretty new one, Professional Chief.
Yeah, because he was Professional Giatbot for a little while there, wasn't he? So he has changed, but, new dawn, maybe soon. He was Professional. I think the first time that he came in, he was Professional Unai Emery, which was after Arsenal lost to Aston Villa. Just phenomenal behaviour.
Yeah. Nah, he's goated. He's just goated around here, Professional Idiot, man. He's just... When you see him in the chat, you guys all just have to say, King. What up, King? Good to see you. Professionally, honestly though, thank you, man. Thank you for the 10 gifted. The chat, like I said, make sure you thank him. Slam with the fire emojis, exactly. Spam a fire emoji for that guy, man. Professional Pepbot when the extension drops. That must happen, Professional Idiot. Get Pepbot back in the title when the extension drops, or if the extension drops. I want to see that. I want to see you in the chat with that in your name. But yeah, 10 gifts is insane, man. Thank you so much. What were we even talking about, man? It's so nice to interact with the chat, when there's not a huge amount to talk about, to just chat to these guys, because These are the loyal ones. These are all the same names that are here all the time. All of you lot are always here, man. So it's nice to
Bruno. It was Olmo kind of went into Bruno a little bit back there. Grealish as well, just kind of chatting.
Yeah. But listen, the bottom line I was kind of coming at was Bruno. Yeah, Bruno. Like I said, you'll thank me and you'll understand me if City get Bruno. But I mean, I still get the feeling we'll go for someone else. But I like the fact that MCFC said we're still in for Bruno. What are the chances? I don't know. I don't know. Is there anything else we need to talk about? I'm not too sure. I'm just refreshing my Twitter here. What's Tommy been saying? Man?
Just gassing up Olmo. I think the last time that I saw Tommy.
He says a really huge cock on the France shirt. Obviously, he's
brilliant analysis there, Tommy, mate. Nice transfer news. He's identified a big chicken on the front of the French shirt. Well in, mate.
I know Tone put up something earlier on about players. Let's see what he's been saying. Chat, is there anything else we need to cover? Is there anything else that we should be talking about here that we have let slip our minds? Calafiori, guys, give opinion. Calafiori is new on the scene, man. Calafiori is new on the scene. People need to relax on Calafiori. He looks good. He looks good, doesn't he? Oi, what the? Joe, soundboard twice.
We've got a fight. We've got a fight in the chat. LFC side with the 5 gifted. Who got them? Sieghart, William, Liam, Mucho Boomin, Adam McLeister. You all got them off LFC side. LFC side been on fire tonight, man. We got a bit of a scrap in the chat between the King Professional Idiot and LFC side, man. It's crazy, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. We keep getting transfer news interrupted by, oh my god, there's a fight, there's a new king.
Crazy, man. What a crazy stream this has been. This has been a crazy stream, man. But what do I think of as a player? Big up to you, LFC side, by the way. Absolute legend, man. Thank you so much. I like him. He has that like raw Italian aggression, really good defensive awareness. Seems to be capable of going forward quite well. He reminds me a little bit of Vardiol in terms of his style of play, but obviously, you know, you play left back, left centre half. Vardiol can do that too. He's good going forward. I like him, but let's not lie. None of us watch Bologna. Yeah, we're all basing this off what we've seen at this year's Euros. I don't watch Bologna, and neither do probably you. So it's I think is it a here we go yet for Arsenal for Calafiori? Joe?
I don't think it's a here we go, but if I'm going to be honest, right, because he plays for Bologna, no one really watches Bologna. I don't even watch Serie A in total. I think it's a bit of a dead league, to be honest. In my opinion, I don't really watch it, but I certainly don't watch Bologna games. I have seen more things on social media about Calafiori in terms of how he looks, like his physical appearance, more than his game. People just fancy the guy. Like, I couldn't tell you how he plays. I've seen a couple of games for Italy. He looks all right. To be honest, I think he'd do a good job if we were to, say, be looking at keeping the John Stones role alive. Because John Stones is made of biscuits, I don't think it would be a bad option for someone like that to potentially come in. I think Arsenal could maybe do the same thing there. I don't know. He'd probably play as a left back because apparently Kiwior's going the other way. He's going out somewhere. So I think that's the natural progression that he ends up as a left back. So they're basically Arteta is still fucking copying us, and we signed Vardiol. He must sign left-footed centre back to play left back as well.
Yeah. Copying from the singing from the same hymn sheet, as they say. But look, he by all accounts seems to be a good player. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Like,
they've got some serious defenders, by the way, Arsenal. I do want to point that out because they had the best defensive record in the league. They had Timber, who was out the entire season with an ACL, and they're signing Calafiori and getting, Kiwior's going out, but Calafiori's probably the better player there. So they've improved what was already the best defence in the country, but they still haven't improved going the other way and trying to score goals.
Yeah, so we'll have to see what they do on that front. Professional Idiot says, rookie numbers LFC side, get those numbers up.
Fight!
LFC side comes in with the wholesomeness. Says, "Big up, Hugh. Love your channel, but not City." Listen, this channel is it's just for good people. Do you know what I mean, man? Like, we have a laugh, we have banter, we take the piss as well. But once you're a good person, which you clearly are, LFC side, you know, even if you don't support City, you're all more than welcome here. You know what I mean? Having a laugh, having fun, blah blah blah. Yeah, we do have rants, we do get angry about things, of course, but we're all friends, people. It's not about winning. It's about the friends you make along the way.
We fucking go. Nice one,
That's
mate.
where you-
Are you an
that's where you
Arsenal
probably
fan
should
now?
rate it. Ugh.
Are you an Arsenal? I'm.
Brother,
Are you an Arsenal fan now? It's not about the trophies you win. It's not about the points totals. It's about the friends we made along the way. Got so many friends.
Hey man, I've made loads of friends through this YouTube shit. Do you know what I mean? That's what we're here for. Yeah, look, the members using the 115 emoji. You made that. They're your friends. Yeah, man.
It's not about the trophies. It's about the memories and the friends. Oh, friends.
What I want now is I want a dog.
Gonna call it win.
Yeah.
Gonna call it win.
It's not about gifted memberships. It's not about gifted memberships and the super chats. No, it's about
It's the
friends.
memories.
It's the
And the
memories.
friends.
It's the
Oh,
memories.
friends. Oh, Jesus Christ. Arsenal fans, they're too easy to make fun of, but they really don't help themselves, do they?
No, they don't. Let me look. See, I tweeted about Rodri tonight, yeah? Rodri 1 win away from winning the Euros and being a standout player for Spain, 6 weeks or so on from winning 4 in a row for Man City. If Spain win on Sunday, he should be standout candidate for Ballon d'Or, but we all know why he won't. Let's look at the replies and let's see who has given the funniest replies, yeah?
Okay.
Won't win by tackling foul without getting punished every time. Guess who that person supports?
Can we have a VAR check? Club check?
It's Arsenal. Who wins the Ballon d'Or because they won the Euros? Guess who that person supports?
Arsenal.
It's Arsenal, yeah. He's done nothing though. Yeah, he's great, but he's done nothing outstanding for Spain. He's a Madrid fan. Okay, I'll take it from them a bit. There's loads and loads and loads of.
He's done nothing great for Spain, apart from...
black. Someone says because he's black. Is Rodri black?
He's tanned. I wouldn't say black. Outrageous. I mean, I wouldn't say he's done nothing in the Euros. He scored the equaliser against Georgia when they sucker punched them in the round of 16 and they were 1-0 down.
Yeah. Cheating bastard. That is an Arsenal fan. Because of your charges. Someone says because of your charges, you cunt. And that is, of course, an Arsenal fan too.
Okay, so they can't argue on the pitch stuff and actual performance-based stuff. He won't win the Ballon d'Or because we've got 115 charges and we're cheats. Allegedly, of course, but they will not obviously specify that it is allegedly. We are cheats. We are dirty oil money. Cheats should be relegated, stripped of all titles. 115. Anything else I missed? I mean, that's the fucking level that we're at, where you mentioned Rodri should be in the running for the Ballon d'Or, and you've got Arsenal fans going, yeah, but 115.
I know. I mean, it's just such nonsense, man. It's just real rubbish. I mean, personally, it says done nothing for Spain. Bro maintains that team from losing the ball. I said this earlier on. Everyone's gassing up Yamal, and rightly so. Everyone's saying well done, Dani Olmo, and rightly so. But they don't get to do what they do. Nico Williams too. They don't get to do what they do without Rodri. And I say the same for Foden. I say the same for De Bruyne. I say the same for Bernardo and whoever. They don't get to play as well as they do without Rodri. That's the bottom line. LFC site, Hugh, you're a nasty guy. Name your dog as runner-up. I named runner-up. Come on, man. We haven't been runner-up and fuck all.
Arsenal should legally change that dog's name. Runner-up, Community Shield, McDonald's dinner plate. Any of those names are for the taking. Friends we made along the way is also there if you want it.
I'm going to name my dog Friends. I'm going to name it Ross. Ross from Friends. That's what I'm going to name it because I like that show, you know what I'm saying? But come on, LFC side, man. Why runner-up? What is Arnie Slot going to maybe the winner next year? Yeah. See, Arnie Slot has the Liverpool players doing boxing, punching the head off each other in preseason right now.
How the mighty have fallen. you had Klopp doing his, title charge and mad German fist pumps at the cop end. Then you got Arnie Slot having them all practicing killing each other and trying to knock each other out. I mean, what's better for squad harmony than trying to take the head off one of your teammates?
Yeah, no, it's good for boosting team morale, I suppose. But no, I actually have a dog. She's called Nancy, but I want another one to call Friends or Ross. Because I'm a firm believer in the friends you make along the way and the memories, That's what we're doing here. We're making friends and memories. But yeah, basically, the Arsenal, we've chatted about so much tonight, man. We've chatted about so much. We're an hour and 40 minutes into the stream, which is wild. But we've had fun. I think we're going to wrap it up. We talked about the Ballon d'Or thing, Dani Olmo, Bruno G, all sorts, man. Declan Rice, Arsenal fans. It's been a whirlwind.
We've had fun and made some friends along the way. That's what matters.
My dog's name is going to be called Pushed All the Way.
Put the pressure on.
Pressure on City, yeah. We pushed City all the way. That's what the dog should be called. The We Pushed City All the Way Labrador. Oh man, I'm gonna go watch Love Island. That's what I'm gonna do, man. I'm gonna go to bed and watch Love Island. Listen, it's been a whirlwind of a stream. Honestly, big up to every single person. Sai for your memberships and your super chats, Professional Idiot for your memberships and your super chats, Piplup for your super chats, MCFC for your super chat. Who else? Briggsy for your 5-month membership, Piplup and Roberto. Big up to all of you. Big up to everyone who's hit the like button. Big up to everybody who's subscribed. Share it around. Make sure you've hit the like button. Leave your thoughts. If you're watching on playback, it means more. That's what the Liverpool fans be calling their dog.
Let's name the dog It Means More, for fuck's sake.
Right, listen, I'm going to go to bed and watch some Love Island, man. And we will reconvene. What day is it? It's Wednesday now. We'll reconvene Wednesday, yeah? Wednesday night for another late night chat. If there's anything we can talk about. Maybe we can talk about England, yeah? Maybe we can talk about England tomorrow. We'll see do they qualify. See what mood Joe's in. He's usually in shite form after watching England.
Oh, dear God. We
will be there. We will be there. LFC Sai with a buzzer beater says already taking digs at Slot. Leave him for next year. All jokes aside, Sai, I'm intrigued. My attention is caught. I will be watching Slot. I will be watching Arnie Slot. I'm curious to see how this project pans out, and I will be discussing with you along the way. So make sure you're here throughout the season, because me and Joe, we are partial to a cooking, as well as partial to appraising. Good night and God bless. Wrap her up, Joey boy.
Listen to your heart. Tell me who you wanna be. We can always start to believe. Listen to your heart. Tell me that you understand.